This conference will now be recorded.
Is my screen visible, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for joining today. I just walk you through the course syllabus and what is selenium and all those details. I'll walk you through. Also, let me just open the course content document. Just a minute. So I hope you all have already course content with you shared, right? Okay. So first, let me introduce myself. I'm Niharika. I'll be your trainer throughout this course. Once we start course, so I have 5+ years of experience in automation and development. So I'll be starting with some details about Selenium. Then we'll see how the course goes and all. So any of you have some previous hands-on with in testing or Selenium?
For me, no.
Okay. Reminding people.
Yeah, for me
Yeah, I have
also.
testing and automation, but with different tools.
Okay, which
It's
tool?
with UFT.
Okay. UiPath.
No, UFT and QTP.
Okay, QTP. Okay. So yeah, I think if you have some hands-on with QTP, might be bit easy for you to understand things maybe. But anyway, we'll start from scratch. We are targeting people who have hands-on, also who just start with no testing. So no problem. Uh, so okay. So yeah. Now, first of all, what is Selenium? It's a tool to automate web applications. Means you can automate only web applications with Selenium. You cannot do with desktop applications or mobile applications. So whenever you see some tool is there in the market, either it will be licensed or it will be open source. So Selenium is an open source tool. What I mean by open source, you don't need to buy any license or you don't need to pay any money to or invest on the for, like don't no need to invest on this tool. It is open source and you can definitely start using it right away. Also, there is lot of community support for this tool. Even see people who want to just start with this software career, definitely they do start with testing. So instead of doing only manual testing, if you additionally put this automation skills in your resume, definitely there will be lot of chance to get calls and get selected for some interviews and all. Okay. So there is demand for this tool from many years. It's not a new tool, but how like it will work is basically it will support many programming languages. Actually, it was listed seven here in this particular presentation, but additionally Groovy also it will support. So Java, JavaScript, C Sharp, Python, PHP and Groovy. These are the programming languages supported by Selenium. So out of all these things, first thing, you don't need to learn these many languages. you don't need to start with all the programming languages. 80% of the market is with Java only. So we will be starting with core Java. Our course is designed for Selenium WebDriver with Java. So first of all, before you start with Selenium, you need to learn Java, but not like full fledgedly. Like, you don't need to learn all the concepts. Only core Java is enough. Okay, core Java, in the sense, like, you can clearly see the syllabus of Java, which was actually part of this course. We'll be starting with installations on the first session, some introduction about Java. Gradually we'll cover all the topics starting from basics to advanced. So you don't need to completely learn every topic of Java. These topics are enough. Under core Java, as basics, we'll see variables, data types, some conditional statements and loops. Then only we start with classes and objects. Then what is a method, what is the constructor, how to do object initialization in different ways. That basics will cover. Then we will start with the object oriented programming concepts. If you take any programming language which is object oriented, these four concepts are very important. So once we start with some basics, and we'll start with classes and objects. Once we are done with that, we will be starting with the object oriented concepts. Then some keywords which are very helpful in Java when you work with Selenium, those keywords we'll see. Then we see the concept of access modifiers, exception handling. And one thing about the collections framework, you don't need to learn the entire collections framework. Some of the topics of collections framework which may require with Selenium, sometimes that topics we will cover under the collections framework. So once we complete this core Java, then only we will start with Selenium. Okay, that is the plan. But as I said, Java, definitely required. But it's not like you need Java for all the four components. First of all, this screenshot which you are seeing here, Selenium contains four components, which is IDE, RC, Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. Whatever core Java part I said, whatever course content was shared, it is for Selenium WebDriver with Java. So why not these three? I'll tell you. First of all, Selenium IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. It's just a record and playback tool. Basically, this IDE is, when someone asks you in interview, like what are the different components of Selenium, definitely you need to mention all these four components, even though some of them are not in use. Like this one is not in use, only this one. So this, starting with this IDE, this is just like a extension to your browser available. Then it's a record and playback tool. Okay, using this you cannot achieve the full-fledged things which were required for real-time projects with Selenium IDE. So that's why we'll just walk you through this tool once we start our session. You don't need to use this in the real-time project, but I'll give you a very detailed overview of IDE. Then second component is Selenium RC. Here RC stands for remote control. Basically, this Selenium RC was a server which was required to work with Selenium WebDriver in the previous versions of Selenium WebDriver. Previous versions in the sense, actually the latest release was Selenium 4, but like uh, from 2017 there was no major release of Selenium WebDriver. Recently the latest version 4 was released. Till then version 3 only was in use for the Selenium WebDriver. So before version 3, with the version 1 and 2 of Selenium, to start with the Selenium WebDriver, this RC was required as a server. But from version 3 they removed the dependency between this RC and WebDriver, so this is deprecated. You don't need to use this, but this is just like you should definitely mention it as one of the components of Selenium. The actual Selenium, when someone even says you that they are working with Selenium in real-time projects, what they will be using is this Selenium WebDriver only. So all the course content which you are seeing, that is for Selenium WebDriver, but definitely I'll give you overview of this one. And I'll come back to this grid in some time once I explain few more things. So once we start with Selenium WebDriver, how does the syllabus goes is, first of all, you need to learn something called locator strategies. Okay, so what exactly these locator strategies are? See, as you automate web applications only, there are some different web elements, right? If you take any web application, definitely there will be some web elements like links, text boxes, buttons, and headings, paragraph, images. These are all the different web elements. How to identify these web elements? That is what this locator strategies are for. So we'll be seeing this in detail. Then only we will start with the actual concepts of the Selenium WebDriver. But if you see, when you start working with Selenium WebDriver, you will be doing the project setup. So before that, if ever you want to target some, as I said, you will be targeting web applications only. If you take any web application, you can use definitely any of the browser, right? What you need to start using web application, definitely a browser is required. So Selenium WebDriver supports multiple browsers and multiple operating systems as well. So these are the list of operating systems supported by Selenium WebDriver, like Windows, Mac, Linux, and Solaris. Also, it supports all the major browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, Opera, Internet Explorer. But it's not like you should use all the browsers. It depends on actually the requirement. Like majorly used browsers are Firefox and Chrome. But if you see, uh, I told you that I'll explain you this grid in some time. When does this grid will come into picture is when you actually start with Selenium WebDriver, completed everything you need to work in terms of automation using the Selenium WebDriver. Then while executing your test cases, which you have built script for them, uh, as you work on one PC initially on your local, it will be like whatever operating system you have and whatever browser you have targeted. Means if you take my at my end, I'm using Mac OS and Chrome, for example. Out of some of the test cases which I have automated, while executing them on my PC, parallelly I want to execute them on some other PCs, like some other machines which were having different operating system and different browser, like Windows and Firefox, maybe maybe some other combination, Windows 10 and Edge, Windows 8 and Chrome, something like that. So parallelly you want to execute your scripts which you built on Selenium WebDriver on some other combinations of operating systems and browsers, as Selenium supports many operating systems and browsers, that you will be achieving using this Selenium grid. Okay, so one thing, this is not practically possible to demonstrate because how many combinations you want to execute parallelly or test cases, those many systems should be physically connected to same network. It grid actually works on the concept of hub and nodes. The actual PC from which you trigger the test cases is hub. Other PCs which you will be connecting are nodes. So that's why, you need to invest on infrastructure to work with the Selenium grid. That's why this is not practically possible. It's not like it should be used all the time. It's optional. If some company has some lab kind of setup with many PCs with various combinations of operating systems and browsers, then this can be practically implemented. Otherwise, as an individual, it's difficult to simulate this one. That's why, like these three out of four components, these three components are uh, optional. Actually, this is deprecated. As I said, this is just a record and playback tool. This will come into picture only after Selenium WebDriver. That too, when you want to achieve the parallel execution. But for that, you definitely need a proper infrastructure. That's why all the content or when majorly used component among all these four in real-time projects is Selenium WebDriver only. So uh, whatever content you are seeing here, it is purely for Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so as I said, before we start with automation, what is the prerequisite is, first of all, you need some test cases from manual testing point of view. In real time, someone will do, or either the automation tester will do the manual and automation, or there will be dedicated people for doing the manual testing. So once the manual testing is done, then only automation will be started. So I'll walk you through, like once we start with course and complete some concepts, I'll definitely explain you the flow, how it works in real time process. So once we start complete core Java, once we complete these locator strategies, immediately we will start with the basics of Selenium WebDriver, like how the Selenium WebDriver works behind the scenes, how to do the project setup, how to do the driver setup, like what are the different basic commands, what is synchronization, how to handle different web elements like drop downs, checkboxes, radio buttons, and all. I hope you all know what I mean by drop downs and all, right? When you work with some application from UI point of view, definitely there will be some web elements. This is the drop down. Okay, these are the radio buttons. This is a checkbox. So how to handle different types of web elements, that we will see as part of basics. Also how to do different validations, how to simulate the keyboard and mouse movements, how to handle frames, alerts, how to use JavaScript executor. These are all the basics which we will cover. Then only we will start with this JUnit. So first of all, what exactly this JUnit is? It's a unit testing framework. So up to this concepts which we cover, mostly we do like we will create some classes. We still use Java's main method to execute your test cases. But once we move to JUnit, we will be using the uh, features of JUnit. It's a unit testing framework. There is a similar tool in the market like to JUnit, which is TestNG, but JUnit out of box supports something called Cucumber BDD. That's why we are choosing JUnit 5. So once we start with the basics of JUnit, I'll explain what are annotations, what are assertions, how you can improve the way you will write code using instead of using only Selenium, as Selenium does not support these annotations and assertions. We will be working with JUnit on top of Selenium basics, which we covered. Then you will be improving the way you are writing the test cases. Then we will be starting with some concept called page object model. Basically it's a design pattern. We'll be using page object model with page factory to this concept is something like you will be maintaining all the web elements related to different pages of the applications. This page object model basically acts as an object repository. So when you don't use page object model, what will happen, your test case will be having hard coded web elements and hard, like even the test data will be hard coded. But once we start with page object model, all the locators will be maintained in the form of this page objects, and the test data we will be putting in a properties file. There is no relation between the properties file and page object model. This is purely for object repository purpose. But when you work in automation, it's not a good practice to do like hard code your locators and test data in your script. To avoid that, we'll be maintaining all the elements using this page object model with page factory. Test data we will be reading from some external file, which is nothing but properties file. So up to this topic, the way you will be writing scripts is the TDD approach. TDD stands for test driven development. Later on, once we are done with this one, we will be still utilizing all the basic concepts which were taught up till here. But additionally, we will be starting with Cucumber BDD. So, what exactly BDD stands for? This stands for behavior driven development. Nowadays, in agile projects which they follow agile methodology, they are definitely using this Cucumber BDD. The reason is this is a tool which is used with Selenium to implement BDD in your automation project. Basically, as I said, if it is agile, many non-technical and technical people have to collaborate. They need a proper communication to make that project work smoothly. That's why, like we'll start with the basics of BDD. Then how to use this Cucumber tool with Selenium to implement BDD in your automation projects. That again we will start from scratch. Your Selenium basics still remains same. Your Java syntax still remains same. Additionally, we'll be using phase object model as well with BDD, but instead of writing scripts directly using TDD approach, we will be working with the BDD approach. Okay, using this tool called Cucumber. Maven definitely we will be starting once we start with Selenium, not after BDD. Basically, Maven is a build management tool. Like if you want to start work with Selenium WebDriver, how you get this Selenium WebDriver and JUnit into your project? For that, you need the related jar files of them. Like manually, if you download and place them in one location, it will be difficult to collaborate with your team. That's why Maven will take care of all the dependencies required to collaborate as a team. That's why initially, once we start with Selenium, we'll be creating Maven project only. So, once you start using Maven, all the required dependencies will be stored in this form.xml file. So that entire process, like our project, will be based on this Maven tool. So that is not after BDD. That is initially once we start with Selenium only. So we'll see Maven as well from that perspective. Then when does this GitHub and Jenkins will come into picture? Imagine you have automated some test cases using all the best practices with Selenium, WebDriver, and Java. Either it is PDD or TDD, but how you like for example in real-time projects you have to collaborate with many people, right? It's not only one person; it's a teamwork. So how you maintain your project and code, like how to do the version control, how to implement CI/CD pipeline in your project, that will be done using this GitHub and Jenkins. So once we are done with all the topics of Selenium WebDriver, I'll be showing you like how you can create a repository in the GitHub, how to install Git in your PC, how you can set up an account and create repositories, and how to add your or maintain your code in GitHub. That we will be discussing on this session. Then finally, when you want to merge everyone's test cases and trigger them as one test suite, how you will be using this Jenkins as a CI/CD tool. That process also I'll explain at this point. Then this framework topic, I just want to say one thing about it. Whenever you work in real time projects, every company has its own framework. So I'll walk you through like what is framework, what are the different types of frameworks, what are the best practices you should do while automating or like while framework is used. And I'll actually showcase one framework which I have and at my end, which I use it for many projects previously. Then we are not building this from scratch because framework is not something which you can build in 1 or 2 days. You need a lot of planning and understanding to build this framework. That's why once you understand all the basics, and I'll showcase you one framework, and you will definitely understand at this point. After we complete this one, you'll definitely understand by the completion of this how you can work in real time projects, how exactly automation is implemented in real time projects. As I said, we are not building any framework, but I'll walk you through the existing framework, and you can like understand the way like automation is implemented in real time projects using some framework. So every framework will have some features, so I'll walk you through like uh, what are the different features any framework have, what are the different types of frameworks, like how to launch browsers dynamically. These things we'll be seeing. Additionally, what is not mentioned here from content is there is a concept called driver factory. So if you like that is some concept which you need to work with. Like once we uh, start with the framework part, I'll separately create a project and walk you through the concept of driver factory. We'll be creating one project for that, and you can definitely use BDD with that. Then same driver factory will be used in this framework. Okay, so definitely by the completion of this course, you will get a clear idea of how automation is implemented in real-time projects, how you can, present yourself as an automation tester to start applying for jobs. That will be definitely clear to you. So that is about your, Selenium tool. As I said, we'll be working with this WebDriver. So, like, maybe from tomorrow we will start with the basics of core Java. Okay, gradually we'll uh, like uh, like gradually we'll complete all the topics one by one, starting from basics to advanced. And every day code will be shared with you. Whatever projects we build in our sessions, that will be shared through you, shared to your email ID. Also recordings also will be shared with you. So even you practice it along. I actually plan to give some assignments as well. If many people are interested in assignments, definitely I can give assignments. You can work on the assignment, so that if you are struck with anything while practicing, I'll be there to clarify your doubts throughout the scope of the sessions. Okay, so that is the plan moving forward from tomorrow. Okay, so any questions, anyone? Any questions?
Yeah, hi Niharika, this is Raju, Sona Raju.
Yeah, yeah,
Coming to Selenium, it was supported only web protocol, right?
yeah, it supports web applications.
Okay, okay. So, what was the course duration?
Course duration, I think around 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay, okay, fine, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, anyone else? Any doubts? Any questions or doubts? No? Okay. So, yeah. As I said, I hope you have the detailed syllabus with you. You can go through it, and if you have any questions, definitely you can get back. So, that's it from my side today. If no questions, I think I can stop recording. Can I stop recording? Any questions, anyone? Okay. So,